The officer put this in my door. I assume you reference this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have a question on what occurred out there, or?
There is no question. I want my car back. It was illegally towed.
It wasn't legally towed under Michigan law. Michigan law says that you have to have a license plate. And
Have you read this?
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
Well, do you understand it?
I understand what's on this paper. I mean, I can read it, but that's not consistent with Michigan law. I think the only thing I can
federal law is over Michigan law.
All I can tell you is that if you feel that you're not responsible for the citations you were issued, then you need to set up a hearing in court, and if you can get a judge to dismiss them.
Oh, so in the meanwhile, I have to miss work and everything else because you wanted me to jump through all your little hoops because you don't want to recognize the Constitution. Is that correct?
That's not correct, no. That's not correct.
That's what I'm getting because everything's in black and white there.
But that's not. Michigan law says that. The officers followed the law.
Michigan law does not do anything for federal law or my Constitution.
If you don't agree with the law, you've got two options. Take it up with the Michigan legislature or through the court process.
So just another way for you people to waste my time and money.
No.
Yes, you are committing treason.
I don't necessarily agree with you, but I respect your opinion. I mean, you have the right to feel that way, but the venue for you to dispute what occurred is through the court.
Well, I am also pursuing charges against the two officers too for grand theft auto.
Okay.
They stole my car. You people stole my car, and now I'm missing out on work and everything else because my car's sitting over there in the impound.
Why don't you get it out of him?
Once you give me the money to get it out. You illegally towed it. Well, not you personally,
we
but
didn't illegally tow it. If you're making this a personal thing, and if they stop anybody,
it's not a personal thing, sir. It's a constitutional thing.
Same thing. Well, that's your interpretation.
It's right there in black and white.
Well, I can type up anything too and get it notarized.
Please don't tell me you're the guy I talked to yesterday.
No, I didn't work yesterday.
Whoever you had here yesterday is a complete moron. He knows nothing about the Constitution.
Well, I know what the Constitution says.
Yeah, and I know what my constitutional right is. I mean, the cases are right here, and the same circumstances of what I was pulled over for.
But see,
it's never been turned over in 109 years.
This is not an issue for me to decide. I don't have the authority to do that. Judges decide stuff like that. If you can get a judge in Jackson County to agree with what you have on paper here and that your vehicle is illegally towed, they'll dismiss the charges and they'll order us to pay your tow bill.
Them two officers are getting prosecuted too.
You'll have to make a report to the Michigan State Police or the sheriff that someone stole your car, because we're not going to take a report on our own people.
Yeah, I know. You guys do illegal stuff all the time and protect each other. I know how it works. I know.
Do you think if someone else would have been stopped without plates on their car, without insurance, and without a driver's license, that their car wouldn't have been towed?
If they did not have a common law driver's license, yes, I do believe that. But under the common law driver license, there's you violated my constitutional rights for one, and you illegally.
Driver's license, and it was suspended.
By a friend of the court, yeah.
If what you're saying is true, then all people would have to do is get a license, and then if it becomes suspended for various reasons, then all they would have to say is that they're now driving under a common law license.
And that's my right.
What would the use of having a license be then at that point?
Because the only reason you guys require license, registration.
We don't require that.
Well, the state of Michigan requires it. It's for money, income, revenue for the state. That's all it is. And then they send you guys to enforce their crap.
Yeah, part of that could be right, but you have to understand that this is not an officer doing something personal to you. That's their job. Just like you have a job, there's certain things that you do.
Okay.
And that's how you make a living. So these officers...
Yeah, now I can't make one because...
Yeah, but these officers didn't target you. that you have a different opinion on
Okay.
how this should work from what the state of Michigan does.
No. I have a legal counsel that knows the Constitution like the back of his hand, and he's told me this. And another thing I wanted to bring up is when I got off of 127 onto Michigan Avenue, the lady that pulled me over, she followed me all the way down to Ponderosa, a good 4 miles. If she knew I didn't have a plate, why didn't she pull me over right there when she flew up behind me? Why did she follow me for 4 miles?
I can't answer that.
Exactly. You know, I mean,
It wouldn't matter if they followed you for 500 feet or 10 miles. They still have the right to stop you if you don't have a plate on your vehicle.
but I don't have to have one.
Well, but that's a dispute between you and the state of Michigan, and your venue to dispute that is through the court.
Okay, but do you understand that when this, which it will, get thrown out of court, do you understand that I'm prosecuting everybody in Blackman?
That's within your right. You don't prosecute. You can request prosecution.
Oh, I know, because you guys get away with everything.
No,
you guys can do whatever the hell you want.
No, the prosecutor's the one that issues charges against people.
Yeah, and you guys work
You
for
can
them.
request charges through the prosecutor.
And you guys work for them, so, you know, nothing will ever go
I don't
nowhere.
work for the prosecutor. I work for the township.
But they work for the state of Michigan, and you work for the state of Michigan also.
I don't work for the state of Michigan. I work for the township.
Okay, well, answer me this
State
then.
troopers work for the state of Michigan. Sheriff's deputies work for the county, and I work for the township.
Okay, well, answer me this question then.
Sure.
Why have I been pulled over by 6, 7, maybe even 10 Blackman officers? Gave them this, and they've recognized it and not gave me no tickets. I've been pulled over by the state police, not gave me tickets. I've been pulled over by the Jackson County Sheriff, didn't give me nothing.
Can't answer that.
Why now all of a sudden, just because somebody gets a wild hair up their ass, that tow my car?
I can tell you right now, the law doesn't allow you to have a license, get it suspended, and then say, now I'm driving under common law. It doesn't work that way. There'd be no reason to have licenses if once they were suspended, people just said, all right, I don't need a license anymore.
Well, there's no reason to have a license to begin with this.
Why did you get one then?
Why did I get one?
Yeah.
Because friend of the court took my license. Therefore, they want money from me. They want me to pay. And, okay, well, if I can't get to work, then how am I paying?
Yeah,
I need to get to
understand
work.
that. It's a vicious cycle on that whole front of the court thing. I totally agree with you.
I mean, you know.
You can't work, you can't pay your child support. Yep, I understand all that.
Yeah, you know, that was the whole reasoning behind this, because I researched it, looked into it, and
Well,
that's what I come
you
up
set
with.
up a formal hearing, and if a judge says, yep, you can drive under that, then he'll dismiss all your tickets from you, and your vehicle would be released. Or you can get your vehicle out today, but you have to pay them. I mean,
Yeah, I have to go pay them and put plates and all that crap on it. I'm not doing that. I'm not paying for that crap. I don't have to.
I have to put plates on my car.
Well, you shouldn't. You should drive a car. You shouldn't.
Well, if you can convince the judge that what you did was legal,
It is. I mean,
then I might consider that.
there's
But
plenty of documentation of the Shapiro versus Thompson. It hasn't been overturned in 100 years, sir. 100 years. Same circumstances what I'm doing.
Well, like I said, this is not an issue for me to decide. It's for the judge to decide.
Okay,
I would set
so
up your formal hearing as soon as you can, and the quicker you get it decided, then the quicker you can move on from it.
yeah, that's the thing. I can't move on from it because now I'm missing work and everything else. Because you, not you personally, your office, officers, whatever, have violated my rights.
Well,
And when the judge overturns this, like I said, I will prosecute them. And I will prosecute both of them officers for grand theft auto.
okay. Like I can't discourage you from exercising your rights. That's that's totally up to you. But as far as what the officers did, they followed department policy and they followed state law. Whether you agree with state law that you have to have a driver's license to drive, that's an issue, like I said, that has to be decided by a judge.
Yeah, well, I just think it's awful funny. I've been pulled, like I told you, pulled over by state police, the sheriff, even city police. And I live in Blackman, so I've been pulled over by 10 Blackman, like I said. You know, I come and get my check right here
How
from
long
U.S.
has your
Staffing.
license been suspended?
Years, man.
Has it?
And that's why, you know, that's why I had to come up with something. You know, I moved from Detroit to here. I know very few people, and now they have lives of their own, you know, so I can't depend on rides